Let's talk about why you should question every single thing. Now, if you have had your life sorted out already, then this video is not for you. So let's talk about why you should ask, why you should basically question every single thing on the surface of this planet. Now, do you have ideas in your head? You want to work on these ideas. You want to have certain, you want to live a certain kind of life. But for some weird reasons, you always figure out a way to shut off those ideas right before you do them. Well, my friend, I think I've figured out a problem in life. And the problem is that you see those people that are free, those people that do what they really, really want to do. If you ever wonder, I'm referring to like your most influential people, the artists, the actors, the people who do the things that they really want to do. It's because they've actually figured out that they are still in touch without their childlike wonder. You see, when we're all kids, we had that wonder, we had that curiosity. We wanted to figure out a lot of things, but guess what? Along the lines, we got stuck to the answers that we received when we were small. And sometimes, whenever you ask your parents why certain things were the way they were, you came across certain things, certain answers, but because you were very, very small and you could not put up a very good debate, guess what? You believed those things and you walked up into your childhood still believing those things. And the worst part is that in most cases, your parents never knew better. They just give you an answer for the sake of giving you an answer so that you can like leave them alone. Or sometimes they even what they believed might have also been a lie. But guess what? We all grow into it. We all grew up at some point. We felt like there was no need to ask questions anymore because your mates are probably figured out life. That reminds me of a story that I keep listening to from this guy, El Nightingale. He talks about how a particular watch, a particular man always stopped by a store to change his watch to the time he saw on the clock, right? And when the store owner asked him why he was always doing that, he says because right that he likes to reset his watch because he blows the quitting whistle every night. And the store owner was surprised because he was setting his clock based on that quit time. What that means is that the guy setting his watch was basically setting his time, was basically blowing the quit, was blowing the quit alarm. Meanwhile, he was setting his time based on what the store owner was setting. What that means is the blind was leading the blind. That is basically what is happening everywhere around the world. We have this idea that other people have had their life sorted out. So guess what? We follow them. We never ask, why the fuck are we doing this? And one person that I think has made me realize this thing is Steve Jobs. If you listen to Steve Jobs' messages over and over again, one thing he will tell you is that the people that invented the things that we enjoy today, literally, are no smarter than you. And guess what? Every single thing that we believe today was made up. Every single thing. Even religion. Now, I'm not here to attack religion because if you understand the point of this message or the point of this video, you're going to take religion with a more nuanced approach. The goal of this video is not to make you feel bitter, but to make you understand or have a deeper understanding or deeper appreciation for the things that are there in life. Because when you understand concepts, it's better for you to follow them. It's better for you to implement them. It's better for you to be guided. And that's something we lack in our generation. Our people, they focus heavily on the practices, not the principles, not the reasons, not the purpose. So guess what? A lot of people have shallow ideas. A lot of people don't know why some things work. So guess what? They'll keep jumping from practices to practices because everybody has a new idea. Everybody has a new approach. But if you're grounded in principles, whenever something fails, whenever something doesn't work, because you are grounded in principles, you can always adapt. You can always change. And that's the problem we have today, thanks to things like short form platform. Another reason that we don't like to question things is because we like to believe that we like to create this image of, oh, I'm already grown. Oh, I think I figured it out. Or I think I figured out some areas of life. Because we don't want to look stupid. Asking questions makes you look stupid. But guess what? I've all been there where I feel like I want to ask a question, but I don't want other people to judge me. But guess what? Think about the person who asked the stupid questions while in high school. When last did you even think of him? And literally, you may think, oh, asking a stupid question is not a big deal right now, but it's a big deal in the future if you're afraid to ask stupid questions. Because why? If you think about it, the easiest solutions to our biggest problems often come from stupid questions. And I remember when I was talking to somebody and he says that, oh, I have a lot of answers. I must be a very smart guy. I said, no, I don't think I'm that smart. One thing I think I know is that I have a lot of answers because I've asked a lot of questions. And to him, it was like, interesting. And you should get to figure out why things are the way they are. And if you figure this, if you nail this point, for example, ask questions like, why do you want to seek money? Why are we after money? Because whether I like it or not, a lot of guys are pursuing money for the sake of something very shallow. That is, they're trying to get the female attention. So guess what? Think about spending 50 years of your life chasing money to get female attention. But guess what? You're still stuck on that treadmill of chasing money because you never knew why you were doing it. That is why when you question everything and you get to find answers, you get to have a deeper sense of purpose in life. You get to embrace life with much more nuances. For example, ask yourself, why do people specialize? Right? And this is a very important topic because I was talking to a medical doctor. We work out together, and this guy, I would say he's very, very healthy and he has good habits. And I was like, doctor, I've noticed that of all your friends and all the guys you work with who are medical doctors, you happen to be the only healthy one. And he's like, well, guess what? Most medical doctors don't take their own advice. Guess why? Because they don't know why those advice even work. One, two is that they are not even the ones who come up with these ideas. It's funded by private companies, pharmaceuticals, who want those doctors to become the best salesmen. And these doctors don't even realize it. And this is a doctor who literally, and this is why I always tell you that the best doctors are doctors who understand what they are doing. Most doctors don't. Most doctors, the doctors who realize what they are doing, they know that most illnesses, they come from lifestyle choices, not for some infection or some genes. And this is why I really like this guy. Whenever I have medical problems, I call him. Ironically, I already know his answer right before I call him. If you think about why religion exists, to be very honest, I'll say that religion is used as a tool to control most people. But now, I'm not here to discard religion because religion has played a role in this life, in his life heavily. Because when you understand that every single religion, despite the fact that it was built for wrong intentions, there are very nice, powerful nuances to every single religion. And if you study all religions, ask them, why is this religion so successful? Why has this religion stood the test of time? You get to realize that every single religion says one thing, that we are all spiritual beings currently having a physical experience. That is the summary of every single religion. But guess what? The people who go for these religions, people who are in these religions, they never zoom out. They never ask the real questions. And if you realize that every single thing is made up, right? Even down to the retirement age. Think about, there are people literally who are waiting for a retirement age 65 to actually retire. And the funny thing is that, according to research, the people who retire earlier, right, they have a higher chance of dying earlier than those who retire 10 years later. Guess why? Because in this life, we are built for certain things. And when you believe that you'll retire, guess what? You feel like you're old. You begin to behave like you're old. Subconsciously, you have the habit of somebody who is tired in life, who is getting old in life. And there's this research that was done where they put a group of 65 years old in an environment that made them feel like they were 25. And guess what? They behaved like they were 25. But when they left that room, they went back to their old creepy ways of working with the cane, always needing help and doing everything. Because why? They have conditioned their minds to believe that they are old. And this thing goes so deep that, and it reminds me of this experiment called the boiling frog, right? Because most people, they will grow up with all of these ideas that were completely made up by people who were not smarter than you, right? And this is how the boiling frog experiment goes. If you put a frog in a boiling water, it jumps out, it enters the water and jumps out immediately. But if you put the frog in the water and begin to heat the water up, guess what? At some point, the frog will just die. Because the frog will feel comfortable, will keep tampering its body temperature until a point where it just feels like, okay, wait, what's going on here? And it's dead. That is how most people live their lives. They conform. They have this idea that, okay, you know what, I can conform because other people have figured it out. So they leave other people to do their thinking for them. And yet we wonder why society is messed up today. Think about it, right? We live in a time where people don't realize that sometimes when ideas come up for a reason. I'm not here to, that's why I say that if you understand the reason why anything exists, it's easy for you to embrace it more. Now, I don't have any particular religion, but because I know why religions exist, it's easy for me to preach Christianity to a Christian. It's easy for me to preach part of the Quran to a Muslim. It's easy for me to preach Hinduism and Buddhism to Hindus and Buddhists. Because my goal is not to convert them, but to make them understand that their religion has a nuanced approach to life. And that is the way we're supposed to be living life. Understanding why we are doing the things that we do. I think about it. Why marriage? Why did they bring man and woman together? It's not because of the Bible. No. It was strictly because of population growth. Right? Because if they left the population the way it was, where the women could only mate with a few men, there'd have been problems because the males were misbehaving. When the males don't have partners to reproduce with, guess what? They become very aggressive. They become very violent. They become a threat to those men up there, to the high value men. So guess what? The high value men had to let women go. And plus again, the high value men can't have every single woman. It's not possible. So a lot of women will just have babies without fathers because they were only willing to mate with the high value men. And the high value men had them in abundance, so why keep them as wives? So what? They established monogamy. Monogamy is way, way less than the human population. But let's not have this argument now. It's way less than the human population. And think about it. Polygamy never went away. It only changed its form. Due to what? Like what? It changed its form using paternity fraud. Now, speaking about why people make money, I always tell people that making money is supposed to help you have more options to create experiences. Now, if you want to have extreme amount of wealth, right, to be very honest, I feel is to impact the lives of other people. And this is why I feel like nothing is good, nothing is bad. Always know why it exists. If you know why it exists, it will give you a balanced approach to life. And this is why if you also ask questions like, okay, because this is where I think a lot of men get these things wrong. And when they assume that things are good, things are bad. For example, narcissists, they keep insulting narcissists. I tell people that as a man, you have a higher chance of building the wealth you really want to build if you think and act like a narcissist. You have a very high chance of building the wealth you want to build. I know it's not what you expect, but I would say that if you can have the bad traits, but with good intentions, you can achieve your highest potentials. That is the law of life. The people who have the traits of somebody who is fraudulent but have good intentions, they mostly work in the financial sector, they work in the banks, they work in cybersecurity. The people who are the most aggressive, right? Guess what? They're the criminals. But the people who are the most aggressive but have the good intentions become soldiers, law enforcement officers, right? They become leaders. There's a reason for that. The reason that any leader who's not dangerous is often seen as a leader who is easily manipulated. Zoom out and look at the history of time. Look at history. I look at how people who are quote unquote, oh, I'm so nice, I'm so calm. And look at how they were reading. When you begin to question everything, like Steve Jobs says that if you look at what you're doing right now, the kind of life you're living right now, and you take this approach, your life is going to change. Because if you walk up to the mirror, and this is something that made me reconsider my tech career. If you walk up to a mirror and ask yourself, this thing I'm about to do today, right? If this was my last day on this earth, will I still do it? If the answer is no too many times, it means you really are on a path that brings zero fulfillment. And this is why, if this is the last thing I'll ever do, if this is the last piece of content I would ever create, I will create it regardless. Because I enjoy the process. This is why, if you ever find yourself, and this is a leading problem of things like work-life balance. The topic of work-life balance should be questioned, not because of people should not work and enjoy life. Is that people are basically saying that they don't enjoy the work they do. They do not see a purpose in the work that they do. And guess what? Because they don't see a purpose, they easily get distracted from whatever it is that they are doing. So the question now is, ask yourself, what you are doing right now. And the thing that gets people to stop themselves is themselves and what they think people will think. Me living a very, very nice tech foundation to create content, to educate people, to teach younger ones, to teach younger men, to them is like, it's insane. But of course, I really believe that I grew up in a family of four boys. But guess what? I'm not trying to compare myself, but I don't like the way the remaining boys were like. Well, one is autistic, so I had two other brothers who were like mentally okay, right? Who are very, very healthy. But I didn't like the way they're living their lives. And look, zooming out is the way most people live their life. Most men live their lives. The message is simple, right? Question every single thing. Question why are you even in school in the first place? And if you know why you're in school, right, it's to give you a better approach. And when I figured out one great potential of university, it changed me the way I viewed it, right? Now you can drop out if you want to drop out, but if you see that the university, if you know why it exists and it does not play a role in your life, it's better for you. You will know how to navigate your life better if you question every single thing. And the major reason you question everything is because it will help you to tear things down so you can build your own version of them. And most importantly, that is how you escape the matrix. Because now, if you know why things exist, you know why ideas should be followed or not. So think about any idea, any single idea, because every idea was made up. And the worst part is that sometimes we don't even know who made them up. We don't even know. Think about it. They say, oh, you're acting this way, you have this kind of illness because of genes or because of your family's genes, your father's genes. Guess what? That has been debunked over and over again. I was talking to my friend, and my friend says that, my guy says, sorry, he's a student of mine. My student says something like, okay, his dad has cancer, so he knows that there's a high chance he'll get cancer. I said, no, don't say that. If your father had cancer, right, and you don't do the same things your father did, do you think you have cancer? He says no. If you don't live the same life your father lived, he said no. He said no, he won't have cancer. I'm like, that's my point. So in some cases, we already have an answer to the things, right? Because the answer is in the lifestyle, not in the genes. What that means, but he still had this idea that the whole topic of genes was correct. And I keep saying, no, it's not correct. You already know it. And this idea of, another reason you should hold this, should ask why, or question why things are, is because it's going to keep you curious. It's going to keep you on the path that you truly want to design for yourself. And that is a life that everybody should aim towards. Not the life that everybody is living, but the life that people truly want to live. People want to live. And I can't remember a quote from Navarro Ravikant, and he says, what did he say is that one, you can get rich creating what people want, right? You can also make yourself feel good by creating what you want. But the best people in life do the both of them. This is why when I keep going back to Steve Jobs, those two statements that I brought up, that one, that if you look around you, every single thing was created. This bulb, the mic, the camera was created by people who were not smarter than you. No, they were not smarter than you. They had the will to do it. Second thing is that if you go to the mirror and ask yourself, this thing I'm doing right now, if this is the last day of my life, like if you know you're going to die in the night, would you do it? I don't know about you, but I will create this content, right? If I knew this is the last day of my life. What about you? Right? If it is the last day of your life, would you start that business that you really want to start? Would you get into that business? Would you build that company? Would you work on that ideas? Because whether I like it or not, time goes fast. And and there's a high chance that you are a frog in the boiling water, you're in your comfort zone. And because time goes fast, you never can tell how much time you have left. It's not possible. Questioning everything is not a way for you to be rebellious. It's a way for you to, what I'll call, build your own way of thinking, build your own mental models, be somebody who, when they ask you, why do you do this, you answer with confidence on this is why I did it. And guess what? You don't need other people's validation. Because why? It is literally your life. It's not a motivational video, but zoom out, right? Think about it. The people who we recognize the most are the people who never fit into society. They escaped the matrix. Questioning everything will make you escape the matrix. Although people have downplayed the matrix, but the matrix is just ideas floating around that help society. But most of these ideas, they no longer help society anymore. Because one, they don't work. Two, nobody even knew why they existed in the first place, right? If you understand why any idea exists, like monogamy, why you should make money, why should you be fit, it gives you a deeper sense of purpose. It allows you to navigate the world better. It makes you to question your goals, because whether you like it or not, some goals that you set were being set by others that you don't even know they were set by others. Even though the goal is $1 million, you never can tell. Although to set a goal of $10,000, I get that sometimes it comes from content creators who want you to be on a particular path, right? But think about it. Those goals that you set for yourself, why do you set them? And those goals give you fulfillment. And that itself is a summary of the whole idea. You should like create the subtle art of not giving a fuck by Mark Manson. I think I made a video on that recently. Go ahead and check that video. When you question everything, right, it makes you to go from one day to day one. It makes you realize that you don't have time to work on to postpone your goals and your dreams. One, two is it gives you that excitement to work on your goals and your dreams right now. You don't have to please anybody. So yeah, I know that if you made it far in this video, this is roughly about 18 to 19 minutes. Just know that you're somebody who takes yourself very, very serious. And it's best if you write a video like this, share with somebody else. Let them begin to zoom out and question every single thing. Like, why should you create content? Why should you build a brand? Why should you? And whenever I make them realize that they should begin to live life with a deeper sense of purpose. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon, and share this video with other people, because there are more people who are getting lost. But let's help them wake up. Let's help them escape this matrix. Let's help them find their own life and have a deeper sense of purpose. And trust me, they would thank you for it. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.